if you want to be someone who creates impact, you want to be someone who would look back years from now and be proud of what they've been able to achieve, if you want to leave some sort of legacy, yet for some reason you find that you're not able to achieve, it feels like there's just something holding you back. I think I figured out the missing piece in this whole puzzle. It may not be the only reason, but if you pay attention, you would agree with me. I've come to realize that most of us who have all these desires in our hearts, who desire to achieve certain things, who desire to live a life of purpose, don't necessarily have a knowledge problem. We have an execution problem. I'm saying that on one hand, this is what you know, you've attended all these conferences, these seminars, you've read these books, you've listened to all the podcasts. And then on the other hand, you have a picture of what you should be expecting. However, there's just something missing. Now, in between what you know and what you're looking for are action plans. I think that there's something that happens when you keep consuming and consuming and consuming, and there's no avenue for you to pour out, for you to give out what you have received. Man was never created to only consume. You were created to receive and pour out. I love to say that when God actually uses someone, what he does is that he calls you, he pours into you, he creates a platform for you to impact lives, to be a blessing. And then when he sees that you're running out of the oil of the juice, he calls you back into the place of prayer, into the secret place, and he pours back into you. And that's how it should be. But like I said, for most people, you already know what to do, and the results maybe God has shown you, or you're watching people who are in similar areas and you see what you could possibly achieve, yet it's not happening. You need an action plan. You need to stop making the excuses. You need to stop gathering more knowledge. I'm not saying that you've exhausted all that there is to know. I would never say that, because the more you know, the more you realize you know nothing. So I'm not saying you've exhausted all the knowledge. I'm not saying you've been exposed to all that there is to know about what you're sensing God has called you to do or what you desire to do. But ask yourself this question: why can you not execute? I'll share with you a tip. How about you start with the little things that are very much attainable, achievable? How about you give yourself the opportunity to learn as you grow? One of the things that really discourages a lot of people is over and over they seem to compare the results they can get now to the results of those who have been putting in the work for 10 years, 15 years. And in my opinion, that's quite unfair. It's unfair to yourself. You're putting yourself under so much pressure, and it's so unnecessary. You only get better once you put your foot in the water, once you step into the water. You do not get better by just observing. So instead of attending another seminar, another conference, reading another book, listening to another podcast, ask yourself, what have I learned so far? Give yourself time to revisit every knowledge you have acquired so far in whatever you're trying to do, and take those things and begin to apply. Recently a friend sent me a podcast on something I would normally be interested in. I should be interested in, by virtue of what I'm doing right now. And I was honest to her. I told her, I don't think I have a knowledge problem at this point. I want to be able to know more. I want to know more on this subject matter, but I've realized that I've not done anything with the information I've gotten so far. I have not even given myself 6 months of consistency. And that's true for so many of us. We are known for doing so many things, but there is no particular thing that we have done consistently for at least 6 months. So as soon as we start, we walk away, and then we think we need another book. We think we need another motivational speaker. We think we need another mentor. But how about you truly execute the few things that you have learned so far. We have 5 months to the end of the year, and if you ask me, it is not too late to start something. Tell yourself, I just want to focus on 2 things and be consistent for these 5 months, and I'm not going to do too much. I want to show you in the next video how you can apply these things that I just shared to you in your spiritual life. For those people who are wondering how they can grow in their spiritual life, you're asking yourself what to do, how to know God more, how to build an intimate relationship with God. I'm going to share with you the practical things you can do in order to grow in your relationship with God, and to have such an intimate relationship with God that would leave you marveled, because really these things are not as hard as we imagine. It's just like I said, us always probably trying to compare, and remember, comparison is a thief of joy. You should not be comparing. Get back into everything you've known so far. I don't know what you're interested in. I don't even want to get into citing the examples, but figure it out. Revisit whatever note you've jotted down so far. Revisit some of the videos you have saved, and say, from these videos I was able to pick out these 2 things, and I want to execute them right here and right now. If this is your first time watching, my name is Hananeel, and I want you to join me on this journey as I learn more about God, as I execute some of the things that God is calling me to do, as I share with you some of the things that I'm learning from scripture. I'm learning about life and just sharing with you some of my experiences. I really hope to connect with people who have decided that they will create impact in their generation, no matter how small it is, but they will create impact in their generation. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful day.